Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture. This will be the Halloween episode. My two guests are big horror fans, hilarious comedians, Christopher Carano and Cuddy Macero. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No problem. Guys, two very funny comedians. If they're in your city, please go check them out. They'll keep you laughing. Also, they know so much knowledge about horror. Um, the last two episodes, guys, please. The last episodes they were on were amazing. Please check those out. Truly blew my mind with the things that they knew. So grateful to have you guys back for the Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I know it's last time we definitely talked about horror, and I don't think I really focused at all on Halloween. So I did have a few questions when it came to Halloween itself. Do you guys have any like memories or like fond memories of Halloween?
Ladies first.
Okay. Thanks. I don't think I've ever really had bad Halloween. I've always make sure to try and make it a good day. Ever since I can remember, my dad really kind of taught my sister and I all about Halloween and how to celebrate, from like carving pumpkins and picking up a costume. So every Halloween that I've had, it's pretty much been amazing, and it is my favorite holiday without doubt.
Hey, nice. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. A lot of fun memories growing up. In Queens, New York, and going trick or treating, and playing everything from. I think I've been a mummy. I've been the superhero Daredevil. I grew up in the '80s. Little kid in the '80s. Did a lot of times I was a punk rocker type look, kind of the style back then. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And then definitely, as you got older, we used to, as teenagers, go out and be a little crazy. No need to record what we did. Just we had our fun in the city.
Nice, man. Nice. Of course, I have no stories. No stories when it came to Halloween. Just a whole bunch of we don't do that. And I was reading up on this for this episode, and I want to know, were you guys allowed to eat the candy?
Yes.
My parents we were, but they were very, they definitely didn't want us eating a lot of candy before bed. So they would have us keep our bags in their room at the end of the night, so we weren't eating candy and staying up all night, which was part of the reason. I think the other part was so that because they had 4 kids, they could go through all of our bags and pick out what they wanted. So it was probably like also for them, partly for us.
Okay, cool. I was reading this article about apparently it's not true, but apparently some guy had a rumor that he put like razors in like different like candy.
It's true. People have done that for sure.
Okay.
They did that in a movie too. It was apples.
Okay. Yeah, that's a scary thought, man. That's wild. Yeah, true. That's true. So when did Halloween like become less kiddish for you guys? Like, was it slowly like progression where it was like kids, or like was it like teenage years when it like when was it, what I'm trying to say, when was trick-or-treating not fun, if that makes sense?
I definitely ran the clock out on trick-or-treating. The last year that I did it, I was a freshman in high school. I was 14, and I dressed up as Lydia from Beetlejuice. And like halfway through the night, I was like, I'm never doing this again. Like, I think I'm over trick-or-treating. If I just want candy, I'll like just get candy. So I would say freshman year of high school, I was like, I'm always going to celebrate Halloween and always dress up, but definitely over the trick-or-treating thing.
Okay. Oh, what about you, Chris?
Probably about 6th or 7th grade.
Nice. Any doors you guys weren't allowed to go to?
Not really.
No, The only thing I remember, there were a couple of times my parents threw out some stuff, wouldn't let me eat it. Somebody once gave like cookies that were like, they just gave them in like the little paper wrapper that you get, like they took them out of the box and that was it. So they were like, you're not going to eat that. And then somebody gave me sugar cubes once and they were like, yeah, you're not eating that either. I thought it was very, very weird.
It is really weird. They must have thought you were like a horse or something.
I don't know, but those got thrown out. So there's no telling what that was about.
I don't even know where to go to get those. Like, where do you where do you go to get a sugar cube? That's
You get them at the grocery store.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
I would always get really annoyed when I would find things like raisins in my bag. I'd have it's like really good candy, and then I'd see someone gave me raisins, and I'd be like, they don't get it. They don't get what Halloween's about.
Okay.
Don't make nothing like stuff.
Were most of your costumes growing up, were they handmade or did you guys go to different, well, I guess it wasn't a Halloween Express back then, but I guess Sears maybe?
Yeah, mostly homemade.
For me, I would say it was like 50-50. And my costumes, like when I say homemade, my favorite thing to do is, and even now, like I like to go to Goodwill and like piece stuff together. And if I have to like alter it or have somebody alter it, I will. But I would say about 50% of the time, it was just me, like homemade in the sense of like my sisters and I would just throw stuff together. And then the other half of the time, it was going to the store, getting the costume and the accessories that are in the bag already. But I had more fun kind of putting it stuff together myself.
Nice. Cool. Cool. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. That's uh as someone that didn't celebrate Halloween, if the movies, of course, display it one way, so I only know it from that point of view. Do you think that most movies nail Halloween, or they dramatize it too much, or
To make this
When,
work.
when it comes to horror or just in general?
like the celebration of Halloween? Like, let's say for the latest example, Hubie Halloween, it came out I think 2 years ago. It was an Adam Sandler movie, but like the way they express Halloween, like that, the day of Halloween, the where it goes to costumes, to decorations, the mindset, the way people talk about it, is it kind of over dramatized, or that's really how it was growing up? And you're like, as a kid mindset, was Halloween set that way, like a big deal?
Definitely a big deal.
Okay.
Oh, always. It like just the pinnacle to me. Like I wouldn't want every day to be Halloween just because then it would almost like not be as fun. It's more special, but like, yeah, I look forward to Halloween more than anything.
Was this the kind of thing where like during Christmas, I know a lot of my friends that I went to school with at that time, they would like die hard, be like, "Hey man, Santa Claus is real," and I'd be like, "Man, look, my family already told me it's not real. I got my PlayStation already," and they would be so dead set on it. But also during Halloween time, they would always talk about witches and werewolves as if they were real. Did you guys believe that when you were kids?
I wanted them to be real really bad, honestly. Kind of still do. I think there's a part of me that was like, even if some of that stuff is real, it's like ghosts, for example, it's probably not the way that like movies show and portray ghosts being. Um, so like there was a part of me that was like, even as a kid, I was struggling with like the rationality of like that stuff probably isn't real, but I really want to live in a world where it is. Like I would love to think that vampires are actually real.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, I definitely knew it was make believe, but of course it would have been exciting if some of it was real.
okay. Cool. Yeah. Um, for anybody that has kids, what movies like for you guys that you'd be like, I would love for someone younger to watch that you enjoyed as a kid?
Definitely Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride are really good, but really dark movies that are kid friendly, but you can also still enjoy them as an adult. Probably two of my favorite.
Wow, I guess. Trying to think, kid-friendly movies about Halloween. I probably don't even know any. I couldn't. I probably shouldn't show any kids the stuff I was watching for Halloween, even back when I was a kid.
You didn't watch
Okay.
like Hocus Pocus?
No.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Ernest Scared Stupid.
Okay, I have seen that one. That was that one was good.
I can't believe you didn't watch Hocus Pocus. It's like insane to me.
They're getting a sequel.
I know.
Yeah, they're getting
Yeah,
a sequel.
that movie came out the year I was born. 93? Yeah.
93.
So did Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
Like my giant. I have an obnoxious water bottle. It's forcing me to drink more water. Just ignore me.
Oh no, it's totally fine. The goal is from 7 to 3, just try to get halfway and then just cruise from 3 to 7. Or I'm not telling you how to drink your water. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're talking about this. Yes, it does have like all the things on it, and it has encouraging messages. I'm a dork. I love it.
Nice. So then we get to the more adult side of Halloween. Chris, when what was the age where you were like, I can start dressing slutty?
Huh?
Yeah.
This question, I think I probably missed this question up. I probably should ask Cuddy. Like, what was the
No, I
correct?
want to hear when Chris started. When did you start being such a slut?
Yeah, this is totally not worded right. This is can't.
Yeah,
Nope, it's on
stop.
Twitch. Can't edit it now. Okay, new to Twitch. This can't be changed. All right. Yeah. When did Let's just skip that question. Let's just go to something else. This is
I
no.
have an answer to that one.
When
I'm
when did when did the dressing change when it came to costumes?
For me personally, it was my see, I was always really like I always wanted to dress up as something super feminine. So up to that point, like growing up, I would get girlier and girlier and like more womanly. The first time that ever happened, I was 12, I think. And I dressed up as, I was 12 or 13. I dressed up as Marilyn Monroe and I went trick-or-treating. I must have been 12. And I was in like the B white dress. I had the heels on, I had my hair and my makeup done. And it was going great. And then I knocked on this old lady's door. She was like really old. And she saw me and she started crying and talking about how much she loved Marilyn Monroe. So that was my introduction to more adult themed costumes. It was like sometimes it can make people cry. Hopefully that's a rare occurrence though.
Yeah, that's definitely the way I should have worded this. Hey, Chris, when did you start dressing in adult themed costumes?
I don't think I ever necessarily went and dressed in an adult themed costume. One year I was dressed as Blade, but that wasn't, but I can't say that I ever did anything. There was a transition going from more kiddyish to more adult.
Okay. I was like Hercules one year. Well, I don't know why I said 1 year. 3 years ago, I was Hercules, and it was just very cold that night. It was a horrible choice. Yeah. So besides that, to get to even more adult style, the more adult side of Halloween, do you feel like Halloween parties are better than Christmas parties?
Yes. And I think the costumes make it so much more fun. The only thing that Christmas has, and it's kind of a more recent thing, is like you can have ugly sweater parties and ugly sweater contests. So that's cool. Um, but I don't know. I think that it's really hard to beat a Halloween party, in my opinion. And I'm still down for the ugliest, tackiest Christmas sweaters. But like, it's not Halloween. It'll never be that cool.
They're both about the same for me. I can't really say I like one more than the other. A good party is a good party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the best answer was my mother-in-law said, well, one family usually doesn't come to. So I was like, okay, I guess that's why Halloween wins. Like, I guess that's why. Um, so, and now I'll get to more of the, I guess, entertainment side of it. Uh, do you believe that when it comes to Halloween, it is the most like parodied out of all holidays?
No, I'd probably say Christmas more.
I could see that, because I think that like the meaning and the intent behind Christmas has changed so much. And if I'm being honest, like Christmas is super about gift giving and money making, at least here in this country. Which, whatever, it still gets you together with your family. To me, I think Halloween is a little more like pure, in the sense that like the meaning of Halloween is you're wearing costumes because that's the one night of the year where like the veil between the living and the dead is supposed to be the thinnest. So you're kind of like in disguise. So I don't know that a lot of people still celebrate that exactly. I'm sure some people do. But I just think Halloween gets less muddied. I think Christmas has like become way more about commercialism than the original meaning. So, if that makes any sense at all.
No, like I said, I'm just learning from you guys. Uh, a lot of people don't want to recognize Halloween as a holiday. Well, of course, I grew up during winter, so it's the paganistic side. But other people really have a hard time with dealing with it giving, like, I guess, a day to celebrate Satan, which after doing my research is evolved from that. It's not to celebrate the devil at all. Do you think people should move on with that, or do you still understand people that are like, no, this is a celebration of the devil?
Definitely not a celebration of the devil.
I had to get my dogs. Oh, man. Okay, so how I feel about that is, first of all, if I'm being completely honest, even if you are celebrating Satan, I kind of think that's your prerogative. And I get why people think that that holiday is meant to glorify those things, but it's not. Like originally, it really doesn't have anything to do with Satan, I don't think. I think
No.
people don't like it because it has to do with like the living and the dead, and very religious people don't like to think about that, those kind of things like meeting like that. So I think people should just stop assuming that that yes, it has to do with the devil.
Nice. All right, guys. The fun part of the episode, one of the fun parts of the episode, you guys remember from last time you guys were on. We're gonna do a few verses. So both of you guys can give your answers and any other things you want to. We'll start with the first one. Patrick Bateman or Hannibal Lecter? Who wins?
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I might say Hannibal Lecter. He is ruthless.
Yeah.
Nothing I've ever seen. At least for a human being.
Same reasons, Chris.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, he's more real. He wasn't like, because from what I gather about Patrick Bateman, that wasn't I mean, with Hannibal Lecter, he's just, I mean, that guy will eat you. You know, he'll track you down in another country and find you to eat you.
Yeah, he will saute your ass. Yeah.
Carry you with a knife blind.
Yes. Yeah. And serve you to other people. The second one is Tremors versus the Xenomorphs. And I also learned that Alien is a horror movie. Like, never put that together.
I thought Alien would be more sci-fi.
Yeah, me too. But after watching it again, it's kind of like that Terminator thing, where it's like it's not meant to be a horror movie, but watching it again, yeah, the first Terminator is kind of horror.
Mm.
What were the two? I'm sorry. It was Tremors and who else?
Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Xenomorphs.
I haven't
I think-
seen Xenomorphs.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that he's like he's more advanced. Like he has all of these advantages, like technologically, and the Tremors are terrifying, but they just don't have all the equipment that the Alien does.
The next one, Ghostface from Scream or Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Definitely Leatherface.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, and I'm gonna throw the ruthless, like vicious argument out again because Scream is iconic and violent and all of that, but Leatherface will just like just peel you like an onion, like just yeah. I think he's way more vicious.
Yeah, between the chainsaw, his strength, him putting you on a hook, him cutting off your face. No doubt, Leatherface.
Okay. Next one, Emotep from the Brandon Fraser Mummy movies or Pennywise the Clown.
I would have to go with the character from the Mummy movies. But it's that one's kind of close because to me their like supernatural abilities kind of seem similar. So that's hard, but I'd have to give it the edge to the character from the Mummy movies.
Pennywise for me, just his mind games. You know, you gotta make yourself believe he's nothing, and that's very hard to do. To defeat him.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And my last one is a three-way fight, but I just feel like I didn't know how to put one against the other, so I was like, it should be three-way. Slappy the Dummy from the Goosebumps series, Chucky from, of course, the Chucky franchise, or Annabelle from Conjuring franchise.
Annabelle, because she is possessed by an actual demon from the depths of hell. And Chucky is also possessed, but he's possessed by somebody that was human. And yeah. And the Goosebumps character is similar to Chucky, but I'm gonna have to give it to Annabelle.
Yeah, the same. Pretty much for the same exact reasons.
All right. Well, I feel like doing Slappy versus Chucky first, but I was like, no, nobody's gonna pick Slappy. So I was like, let me just give him somebody that's close. Like, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for that, man, for doing the verses. The last one is for you, Cuddy. I think I already asked Chris. Maybe I did. Yeah, I did actually. I saw the episode. I looked at the episode again, but if Cuddy, if you don't mind, Candyman or Freddy Krueger? Just to get your opinion.
Like who I like better, or is it the verses?
Who would win? Chris, do you remember who you said would win?
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure, but if I had to think about it. It's just going to depend on whose world you're in. I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if I
go.
said that the first time or not.
The first time you said Freddie.
Okay.
I'm going with Candyman. Also, I like Candyman better, but I'm definitely going with Candyman. Just so creepy.
Yeah.
But good. Did you know that actor judges this Halloween baking show now? And it's really weird to see him like judging
My
people.
God.
Yes, it's like judging people's like cupcakes when I'm like, last time I saw you, you were like a vicious killer in a movie. But it's always funny.
He was dedicated to that role. He got bit. I mean, not bit, but he got stung a lot, apparently. When he played Candyman, he got stung a good bit.
I think I did read that somewhere.
I think they did a remake and he still ended up playing him in the remake.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to go transition back to Halloween itself, do you guys rather suspense, comedy, or it doesn't matter?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Say it again.
Like when it comes to horror in general, do you have one that you favor over the other, like suspense, comedy, like serious horror, gory, or is it just everything's equal, like you just like it all the same amount?
For me, I always look for anything like supernatural or paranormal. Excuse me, because to me that's like super scary. So anything involving like religion, like church possession, demonic, that kind of thing, super
Mhm.
scary. Or even just haunting movies based on a true
Give
story
me
or
1
not.
second.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ghosts or demons, man. That's my favorite. I can appreciate the other.
That's why you like Amityville Horror, probably.
Yes, but The Nun is my all-time favorite horror movie ever.
The Nun, okay.
That's my
I
homie.
don't. It's either like late 80s or early 90s, but you might want to check out the movie The Entity
I think I may have seen that, but I don't remember.
if you like ghosts.
Sorry, I had to grab some drink. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Cool. What did you say, Chris? You just like it all the same?
So I definitely like gore, but if you could throw some jokes in there too, I like it. That's why Return of the Living Dead and Evil Dead, I definitely like them a lot.
Okay. Since I both have you here, why are the Resident Evil movies considered horror? Because they just seem like action to me.
Zombies,
No,
probably
that's it. That's it. That's all we have to do. Okay.
a big part of it. Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to more like suspenseful movie, like Midsummer, if I'm pronouncing that right, I hope I am. Midsummer, or Don't Breathe, or even going back to Stephen King, The Mist. What make those so special, in your opinion?
I like Don't Breathe. I like it because it's not, I can't really think of any other movie that's like that. It was a really interesting idea and just how badass that guy was despite being blind.
Yeah.
I mean, and those movies are cool because they don't have that monster element or like alien element. Like I mean, conceivably, like they're real. Like they could be real. I mean, so I think that is its own kind of horror. Still scary, but it's like I think that's when you start going into the genre of a thriller, because it's still in the horror like realm, but the thriller part, I think that element is like, well, this could actually happen. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Judging out both of the movies, when I first talked to you guys about what kind of horror movies you guys spoke about the most, I got from you, Chris. I think you like the slasher a little bit more, and Cuddy, you like more of like, well, I hope this isn't wrong, but like demonic, I guess.
Ghosts and demons, that's my jam.
If you guys were to talk each other and like, hey, you need to check out slashers because of this, or you need to check out Ghosts and Spirits, what would be the movie that you threw people to first?
You said for
Um,
ghost spirits?
Yeah, like you would like what slasher movie would you be like, this is the one that will like help them move on to become a slasher fan? And I was asking Cuddy, what ghost or spirit movie would she go to and be like, this is what you need to watch to become a fan?
Mm,
I know.
Probably. Go ahead.
Okay. No, you.
That's okay.
For me, even though The Nun is my favorite horror movie, I always joke that that is not a beginner horror fan movie because I think it's really, really scary and it's really well done. So I think a good like intro, but it's still scary, is a movie that came out, I think 2018 as well. And it's called The Winchester, or no, I think it's just called Winchester or Winchester House. But it's about, it's based on a true story, but they've taken a lot of like liberties with it. It's about this house that's built in California and it's still there. And the woman that built it was rich because her family owned the Winchester Rifle Company. And she believed until her death that she was being haunted by every single person that had been killed by a Winchester rifle. And she felt so guilty. And she also believed that because of that guilt, the spirits wouldn't leave her alone unless she kept adding on to her house. So if you go to this house now, no, they were never allowed to stop building as long as she was alive. So there's doors that lead to nowhere. There's like balconies that don't have like they're not finished. Like the goal was the ghosts were telling her just keep adding on to the house and we'll basically let you live in peace. Um, it's just really really well done, and I think that that's a movie that has a good story, so people will pay attention, but it has enough scare that definitely.
Yeah, and that's based on a true story, right?
Yep, San Jose, California.
Why not check out Exorcism, The Exorcist, and The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Okay.
Go with a classic and then a newer movie.
What slasher should I watch first?
Do you want someone funny or you want someone who's quiet or doesn't talk much?
Quiet people annoy.
Okay, so you probably want to go with Freddy or Candyman.
That's a good one.
So okay, those two ways to start it. For anyone that didn't watch the first episode, Chris, could you because I like the way you broke it down so well. Could you explain the difference between Michael Myers and Jason again?
Well, like I said, they're both, quiet. Michael Myers never actually died, but Jason did. Michael Myers is more like your suburban slasher, whereas Jason is your country slasher. But they're both similar. I mean, they're both big on stabbing you. One thing I noticed about Jason, he won't kill children, but I think Michael Myers would. He definitely, if you watch some of the later ones, he goes to definitely kill a child. So that's one thing I noticed that was different about them. Jason seemed to have a soft spot for kids because he drowned as a kid.
Yeah. True. When it comes to horror movies, in your guys' opinion, do you feel like budgets don't matter anymore, or do you think a good budget is still important?
I I wouldn't say that a budget doesn't matter. I think, and I'm not trying to give like a cop out. I think that if you have costuming, makeup, and actors at any budget that are good, especially the actors, horror is so dependent. Like I think action movies a lot of times are dependent on like the set and the scenery and whatever. for an example. I think that horror is really dependent on the actor to be effective. So I would say that you might be able to get away with not having a great budget, as long as you have convincing villains and monsters and actors in a horror movie. A big budget is going to allow for more location scouting and that kind of thing. But when you think about a movie like, just for an example, Scream, that was a lot of that was just filmed like around like this big old house, I think, from what I understand, and like at a high school. And even like The Conjuring, that was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina. So I mean, those are both bigger budget movies, but what I'm saying is the locations were kind of so that you could have probably filmed in those locations without a big budget. It just helps that you have it.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to horror, I mean, of course, the budget is important. It's just that, they're not really known for, having big budgets to do the things they do. It's just more about, hey, I just want to see a bunch of people get killed, and that's more the exciting part for me. Even the acting doesn't have to be too good usually for me, as long as it's creative and people are chilling and you see them get killed. That's really important to me.
Okay. Do you believe that the virgin rule is slowly dying?
Oh, I don't think I've seen anything like that in a long time that focused around that.
I think people are trying to get away from it. I've seen a couple movies where the virgin. Are you talking about the virgin surviving to the end, or the virgin being someone that is killed?
The virgin survives to the end.
Okay, yeah, that to me seems to be alive and well, but you see a lot of it in like the straight to Netflix horror movies. And those have like your lower budget. It's like they haven't really evolved the story that much. So you do see a lot of that. And I'm trying to think of movies where people get to have a lot of sex and still live to the end. And I don't really know that there are many. I know they do exist. I just can't think of what they are.
You know any, Chris?
Where the virgin dies?
No, I mean people that have sex and survive.
Yeah, I think there's a few of those.
I feel like I can't think of the names of them because it's so rare. But yeah, the moral of this podcast for you viewers is don't have sex. You will die and it will be violent, just like in the movies. So never, ever, ever, ever.
The girl in Friday the 13th Part 2, the main chick survives, and she had sex. There's one example.
Yeah. Cuddy, I just imagine someone in the comment section. Guess I'm gonna die. Yeah. Okay. That is true. That is right. Yeah. Cuddy works with entertainment. When it comes to haunted houses, Chris, do you have a favorite, or do you stay away from those?
Oh, haunted houses are cool. I think it's in California, but I'm not sure. There's one where you have to sign a waiver because they're allowed to touch you.
Yeah.
And like from what I gather, a lot of people don't make it through. They just say, "Hey, I want out." So I'd like to see that one day.
Let me know how it is, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a horror buff, but I think it would really take me out of it if they could touch me. I think I would be just so freaked out. So like as soon as I walk in, knowing that they can touch me, I would just be like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And then I would just miss everything else going on around me. Because with what I do, I'm always looking at like the lights and the costumes and the set design and all of that because I'm a nerd, but I'm also trying to be scared. So if I'm trying to look at all of that and I'm worried about somebody gonna like pull my hair or like grab my arm, then I'll have a panic attack and nobody will have fun.
I didn't even think of that. I'd be more like, are they grabbing dicks in there? But yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, they could grab my hair and stuff, yeah. to end it on this, guys, what is the next evolution of Halloween? Like we have so many things. Like the last thing I did for Halloween last year was this VR experience, and it was okay, but it was still at the beginning. What do you think is the next like big scare when it comes to Halloween?
I think somebody needs to make an 80s themed horror movie.
Did you watch, Chris? Did you watch the 1984 season of American Horror Story?
I have not.
So good. It's like 12 or 13 episodes, just like their regular season. But this one is all set in the 80s. They even have like Richard Ramirez playing in the show. And it's fantastic. It's like this campy, literally, because it takes place at a summer camp, 80s slasher mystery. It's so good. So good.
Okay.
Nice,
I love
Uh,
American Horror Story.
nice. But yeah, Cuddy, what do you think is the next like big attraction? Like this is what's going to scare you.
I would have to agree that VR, virtual reality, I really do think that that is something that even if they've started to explore it now, I think they're only going to do like more with that. So I think that, and I would say people going through escape rooms is mostly like it's not necessarily connected to horror all the time, but I feel like escape rooms will also be this interactive thing that you can do. So you're trying to escape, but I think there will also come a time where there's going to be like actors and special lighting and things like that you have to go through to incorporate horror into it. So I think people, both of those are really interactive. So I think people want to be in that world more now rather than just watching it. So I
Okay.
feel like that will be a thing.
Nice, nice. Have you guys done an escape room yet?
Yes.
We did it for my job, and it was like it was supposed to be a thing where it was like we were supposed to build, and like us, all our coworkers, we were supposed to learn how to work together. So we never made it out the room, and some of those people aren't working with me anymore. Just it just showed what we already knew. Um, is there anything else you guys would like to add to Halloween, or any stories, any deep, anything that really, expresses your love for Halloween?
My suggestion is, on Facebook, there's a lot of groups that you could join about horror, about different types of horror. That's usually fun to join those groups and, see what people post and go in there and post some stuff too. I enjoy it.
I'm part of a group like that where we talk a lot about horror, but all of us do like costuming or set design or special effects makeup. So it's also like a community for that as well. And I have not done an escape room, but I have helped work on one, like painting and things like that, and trying to get it ready to be like as it was being built. So it's a lot of people that do stuff like that on the page that I'm on.
Nice, nice. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything you want to say to your fans? And please tell people where they can follow you.
Well, we've already covered don't have sex, just don't do it. And you can follow me, Hot Grandma, on Instagram. And just be safe and be smart and don't care what people think of you because it's not worth it.
Go to Facebook and Instagram and look up Corrado Show. CORRADO. Corrado Show.
Nice. And like I said, guys, please follow them. Very hilarious comedians. If they're in your city, definitely check them out. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.